New tech to monitor the health of your car. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from CarMD is Kristin Brocoff. Hi, Kristin.
Good morning. How are you?
Terrific. Well, let's get a bit of background first about the company for folks who may not be familiar with it.
Absolutely. If you Google CarMD, we are sort of the preeminent expert when it comes to educating people about check engine health. We've been around since 2006, and we have affiliate and sister companies who have been in the automotive aftermarket for 40 years. So when it comes to diagnosing dashboard warning lights, check engine, ABS, SRS, we are the experts. And our commitment is to educate consumers about the importance of paying attention to car issues and heeding those warning lights to save time and money and breakdowns.
Terrific. And now you're out with something called CarMD Connect. Tell us about this, what it's designed to do.
We are so excited. Today is like our official launch, and our predecessor product was a handheld diagnostic tool where you would just plug it into your car and you had to be an active participant in remembering, okay, do I need to scan my car before an emissions test or a road trip or know if there's anything hidden going on in it? This device is basically a little teeny dongle that plugs into the OBD2 port of your vehicle, and you've got a lot of savvy followers, so I'm sure most folks know what the OBD2 port is. And then it pairs to the CarMD Connect app to basically give you like a plug and forget information, real-time alerts when your car has an issue. And the great part about it is, in addition to monitoring check engine and ABS, SRS, tire pressure, even you have the option to do all the OE codes, like from remote door locks to intermittent things that could go wrong with your car. The other side of the product is an app it involves connection. So you can have a connection group of family, like in the instance of a multi-vehicle household, and you can monitor the location of the vehicle, the location of a teen driver, the status of a spouse's vehicle, a teen driver's vehicle, a kid away at college. So it's this connection that we're offering so that you can get a group text to all of your cohorts when you need roadside assistance. It's all about connection, and there's a lot of products out there where you can have a location monitor app or a tracker, and then you can do OBD2 check engine type diagnostics, but nobody has ever put the two together in one offering where you've got people connected to people, people connected to cars, and people connected to multiple vehicles as an option.
So does the device have connectivity built in, or is it using your phone through Bluetooth, or how does that work?
So the device is using your phone. The device plugs into the vehicle, and it communicates to our app and the cloud. And the magic sauce with the information is that CarMD has the largest database in the world for check engine related issues and ABS, SRS. We put out an annual report, Vehicle Health Index, where we're looking at trends on car repair costs, et cetera. This is the living, breathing, massive database. So it's constantly updating, and you're getting all that information and insight. But it's through the cloud and through the app, so you do need to have that connectivity.
So tell us about the car models this can work with. I guess certain years and forward, that kind of thing.
Sure. OBD2 was mandated by the US government for vehicles 1996 and on. So being that the average vehicle age is, 12, 13 years now, it was 9 when I started doing this 20 years ago. Pretty much any vehicle on the road it'll work on. Any vehicle that has an OBD2 port. So those are mostly gas-powered vehicles. It will work on some EVs. It's just they don't have emissions and they don't have the kind of issues. So you're only going to get half of the value. You're still going to be able to see battery related issues, and you're going to be able to connect with your loved ones, and you're going to be able to use all of the monitoring and safety mechanisms and set reminders for when you need maintenance or when you have an emissions test or a registration coming up. But it's really for OBD2 vehicles. And if you go to our CarMD.com website and go to the CarMD Connect section, you can actually put in your year, make, model, and it'll tell you if the product will work on your vehicle.
Terrific. And I guess, as you mentioned, some EVs may not have that standard OBD port. But what about hybrids? Most hybrids do.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting because hybrids have, all the battery stuff, but they've also got everything that a traditional ICE vehicle would have. And it's interesting, over the years, we've seen battery related issues like percolating to the top of the most common problems that you see on vehicles. Whereas 20 years ago, it was a loose gas cap or an oxygen sensor. So it's interesting to see, batteries, they definitely fail a lot. In fact, that's one of the reasons that I use this product is my daughter's away several hundred miles away at college. And she came home and I got in her car and you could hear like it wasn't starting well. And we live where it's 20 degrees, 10 degrees, snowstorms. And I'm like, like, when was the last time we changed the battery on this? And she's like, I don't know, 21-year-old, they don't care. And I'm basically like, okay, I need you to go down to the auto parts store, have it fixed. And it was failing. And we did replace it, thankfully, before she was on the side of the road. This CarMD Connect product lets you monitor the battery charge and you'll see if something's failing so you don't get in a situation like that.
So all people really need to know is where the OBD2 port is, and they're set with this. Kind of step us through a little bit.
Yeah, so basically you buy the little device. It's available at Amazon, CarMD.com, Walmart.com, and we'll be launching in a major retailer for a holiday special promo. We'll have that information coming soon. And basically you plug it in to the car, you pair it with your app. There's no fees, there's no hidden charges, there's no subscriptions required. You answer a few questions like your mileage, the last time you had it registered. You can set all sorts of parameters, join a family group, invite friends. I really see this as households that want to monitor maybe a aging parent or a teen driver or a spouse that forgets to get their oil changed on their truck. Um, and then you can also set geofencing parameters like, hubby got to work safely or daughter got to, school or whatever. And basically have that connection on the status of the vehicle and the status and location of the person.
Tell me about that particular application for older adults or parents or maybe even grandparents. How that works and the advantages.
Yeah, I mean, this is new, so we're just starting to get feedback from beta testers, but multi-vehicle households with teens and aging parents have definitely been plus in the testing. So you would plug it into a parent's Cadillac or, older vehicle. And even if you live, you know, several blocks or several hundred miles away and you're not constantly driving it, you could get alerts that said, hey, mom needs, an oil change or, the battery is getting low, and a lot of times older folks don't drive their cars. So you would see this, the stated charge was a little bit low and you could go over and drive it around the block for mom. So there's a lot of really great applications and we're excited to get into the hands of people and see what other applications there are. One thing I do want to point out is we have something called Ask CarMD, which is an AI chatbot in the app. And this is like the absolute magic sauce about it. Because if you ask like any off the shelf chatbot about a car question, it doesn't have the insight of the hundreds of millions of fixes and insight on repairs that we do in our database. So once you put the year, make, model of your vehicle in the app and ask it a question, it will literally answer that question specific to your vehicle. So, you have a question and your repair shop's closed on a Sunday, you're going to be able to get that answer. And then you can, specify a different year, make, model vehicle if you want information on a different car.
Interesting. And I assume this is easy enough to move from one car to another when you buy a new one or whatever.
It is. It's not permanent. You plug it in and forget it, but it's the kind of thing that can be removed. It takes 2 seconds. I mean, I can do this and I am not very car savvy. So yeah, I mean, it's not the kind of thing that we would recommend where you're like plugging it in for one car and then in another and then in another. We really recommend one for each vehicle to get the true value out of it, but absolutely it's not permanent. You just unplug it when you sell the car or trade it in or whatever.
So let's get to the pricing. And you mentioned something about availability before.
Yeah, absolutely. So the MSRP is 99.96. I don't know where they got the 96 from. And if you go to carmd.com, it's kind of all over our website right now. You can also go to walmart.com or Amazon. It literally just hit the market today. So other than beta testers, it's not I mean, your followers are going to be the first to be able to hear about this, and we're super excited. I launched the original CarMD product back in 2006, and there weren't apps, there wasn't AI, there was nothing that's available as terms of technology today. So I'm super excited to be able to make this, you know, something that everyone can access and benefit from.
Just terrific. Again, CarMD, just like it sounds, .com. Chris-
Absolutely.
Kristin Brocoff, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You have a great day.